This is 1,000 monkeys working at 1,000 typewriters. Soon, they'll have written the greatest novel known to...
Woman.
Let's see. It was the...
Batwoman's weakness.
It was the...
Kryptonite.
You stupid monkey! You shut up.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and I think I'll have 5, maybe 6 videos today. But I want to remind you that the podcast between Count Dankula and Bering and myself, which airs Wednesday night, will be tonight at about 6 p.m. Central over on the Incredible Salt Mine. It's kind of a secret podcast that's been running for like a year and a half now. So fair warning, it's a bit spicy. But that said, I hope you're enjoying all of the videos. I've tried to bake in some more variety today. I know some stories are getting a little... played out. So new television news, we haven't had a lot of news coming out of Hollywood or the television industry because, well, they're not really promoting anything new. They're not really producing anything new. I think we've seen some grumblings around the actual release date for Mulan being sometime in July, I think, or Tenet also moving to July. This would be the first kind of litmus test. Hollywood definitely is proceeding with caution in terms of setting theater dates for their films, but television still carries on, especially if the show had been broadcasting over the past, maybe they finished filming last year. And we've got a couple of interesting, more of the woke variety failures to celebrate here, and I hope that we'll have a little fun together doing so. So, Sci-Fi's Vagrant Queen adaptation posts lowest ratings of first season. There seems to be something with these television shows where they start at an all-time high and then all they do is end in complete failure, never being able to grow their audience beyond that initial day, never being able to even sustain an audience past that initial day. And obviously, I think above all, it's bad writing. Even above like kind of the wokeness or the particular social justice topics, shows can be successful if they deal with these things in a tactful way, in a non-preachy way, in a the batsuit is literal perfection. It will be when it fits a woman. That kind of hacky, ham-fisted writing is why these shows fail. Now, Sci-Fi's Vagrant Queen, which is an adaptation of Vault comic series by Mags Visaggio and Jason Smith, posted its lowest ratings of the premiere season. Now, I don't know if this article mentions it. This is via Bounding Into Comics. They did change the time slot. It was performing so poorly that they moved it later in the evening, which is never a good sign. The series follows former child queen Lita as she goes on the run after her mother was deleted by Commander Lazaro, the man who also brought down the Empire. However, Alidra's mother apparently didn't pass and is still alive. After a life of scavenging in the wilderness, she teams up with a man named Isaac, an optimistic mechanic named Ame, in order to rescue her mother. Seems like a good prospect, I suppose. The rescue mission requires her to break into heavily guarded area of space that Alida's family once ruled. Not only does she have to rescue her mother, but she will encounter cannibalistic aliens, dangerous planets, shootouts, karaoke, and parking incidents that will complicate her journey and bring her closer to falling into the clutches of Lazaro and her forces. The 6th episode of the first season that aired Thursday, May 7th, posted a 0.03 ratings in the 18 to 49 demographic and only saw a viewership of 208,000 according to TV series finale. That 0.03 is the lowest of the series that it's posted in the first season. Total viewership was up from the previous episode's low. The show has performed poorly since initially launched on March 27th. The premiere episode posted a 0.1 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic with total viewership nearly 375,000, which isn't great, but it's also important to remember it's a brand new show and it's on Sci-Fi, which doesn't post, shows with the millions of viewers very often. Since the show has steadily declined in viewership, with the May 7th episode the only one breaking that trend in declining viewership. We see Friday on March 27th, 375,000. We saw just a pathetic amount of people on April 30th, 168,000. About half of its initial viewership. And it did bop back up to 200,000. That's actually a really strong jump. In fact, that's up from 182,000 the previous week. So that's a strong increase. In fact, Vagrant Queen is the worst performing sci-fi show on their current lineup. Zoinks. The shows fall between Winona Earp, sounds awesome, 3, Krypton Season 2, The Magician Season 5, Happy Season 2, Van Helsing Season 4, and Killjoys Season 5. You can see all the shows here sorted. But it is stunning and brave, everybody. Stunning and brave. A 100% Rotten Tomato score. Who could have foreseen this? Now, if we put things in perspective, the number one show they have in this list still only has 475,000 viewers. To put that in perspective, while everybody's been stuck at home, my channel has often had days of nearly 900,000 views. So take that, big production companies. You got Winona Earp, which is renewed. Krypton canceled. Magicians canceled. Happy canceled. Vagrant Queen certainly will be canceled. I mean, it's in its first season, and it's horrible. It has the worst viewership inside of the important demographic. This is what they sell to advertisers, and pathetic viewership. The show, though, has a 79% score on Rotten Tomatoes from 194 user ratings. However, it has a 5.1 score on Metacritic. But importantly, we see just how important critics are when it comes to TV viewership. 100%. Now, it's only 6 critics, but all 6 critics gave it a perfect score of 100%. And yet, everybody hates it. Who could have foreseen this? Well, me, I suppose, and all of you, because let's look at Batwoman as a perfect another example of this. This is a show that had a massive marketing budget, and it was built into an existing universe. It had other television shows to lean on for their crossover events, and it still managed to lose over half of its viewers in just the first season. Now, if we look at it, it opened with 1.86 million viewers and never, ever got close to that again. In fact, its season finale, which aired last week Sunday, just 700,000 people tuned in. Now, a lot of people make the argument that there are people that tune in and then go to end up DVRing the show, which is absolutely reasonable. I think people will say, oh, the season premieres on, I can't DVR it, so I have to tune in and watch it. And so ultimately, when we look at these TV ratings, there is some percentage of people that are moving to DVR. We saw this when they talked about the Watchmen ratings. You know, only several 100,000 people watching it live, but millions of people watching it on demand and on DVR. So, you know, it's entirely possible that a good chunk of these people are still watching the show, but certainly it is not must-see TV. Then we look at TV Insider, Tommy and other cancellations. I know this much is too much, Batwoman and more. When we look at what the opinions are on Batwoman, now I don't think, obviously, Batwoman, they've already announced that it's going to be renewed for a second season. So I don't think that you're going to see any conversation of it being canceled in one season. I mean, if we look at even like Supergirl or even Arrow or any of these other shows, none of them really perform that well. If we look, Matt Roush, maybe thinking about Dancing with the Stars. So Batwoman, Queen of Darkness, question. Does anyone in Gotham City pay their electric bills? It seems like the number of well-lit scenes per episode in Batwoman seem to grow fewer and fewer. Granted, bats find their prey through echolocation, but even in the comic books, there were times when Batman, Robin, and Batwoman would fight villains in broad daylight. What gives? I know there are some filmmakers who like to use darkness, but in some cases, less is more. Batwoman is one of those cases. You know, this is, you know, it's interesting if we see maybe the shooting of it, the overly darkness of it. Why Batwoman shares her biggest weakness with Supergirl. Batwoman showrunner Caroline Dries explains the cliffhanger reveal that Kate Kane's biggest weakness is kryptonite, just like Supergirl. What amazing writing. I mean, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Why would you have Batwoman be, what? This is so lazy. It's like I can't come up with anything new. So, kryptonite?
When I see your movies, all I do is watch the clock. 'Cause there's nothing fun about a superhero scared of green rocks. Look at those panties. Oh, you got that camel.
I mean, showrunner Caroline Dries explains that the cliffhanger reveal and Kate Kane's biggest weakness is kryptonite, just like Supergirl. The penultimate episode of Batwoman Season 1 gives fans a surprising twist reveal. What Nemesis Alice has been searching for all season was a way to defeat the Batsuit, and thus Batwoman is none other than kryptonite. In a move that remixes DC comic mythology, Dries left viewers surprised that the discovery of the green substance, famously known for being Superman and Supergirl's biggest weakness, is also the key to defeating the technology behind Kate Kane's Batsuit and ending Batwoman by making a trade to save their lives. I don't want to spoil the show for the 4 watchers of it, but are you joking? This is the exact thing I'm talking about. The idea of kryptonite being the material that can not only take down the Batsuit, not only makes Batwoman more formidable than fans originally thought, but the technology behind the suit is potentially more complex than other suits we've seen. Why can't you invent something unique? I mean, can you think of a better example of lazy writing? I mean, first they're like, Batwoman like woman. Tune in, everybody. Oh, Batwoman has this secret weakness. What could it be? Oh my gosh, I'm waiting all season to find out. And it's not her time of the month. What could it possibly be? Oh, it's kryptonite. Just like Supergirl and Superman. Whoa! Huge reveal. Again, this just further identifies what I've talked about. A lot of these shows, while woke and stuff like that, really just suffer from awful writing. And so maybe hire better writers. Maybe they're hiring people like Lily Singh does, you know, hiring writers based on the color of their skin rather than their talent. You know, maybe they're not just looking for the best writers, but they're looking for the best mix of people. Maybe come back in season 2 if you want any chance at all of redeeming yourself and focus on better writing, better advertising that, you know, doesn't alienate half of the population before the show ever even airs. I mean, these seem like such obvious table stakes marketing ideas that any one of my viewers would know, yet everyone in Hollywood seems to have no clue how any of this works. Get woke, go broke, I suppose. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.